Hello and welcome to Avonmouth ERF. My name is Georgia and I'm the Business Support Coordinator here, and I'll be taking you through the CDM induction presentation for this year's outage. Safety is Viridor's #1 priority, and Home Safe describes Viridor's approach to safety and has been designed to inspire a real change in our company's safety culture. This applies to all staff and contractors on site, especially during times of outage when the site is busier than usual. HomeSafe puts personal responsibility for safety at the heart of everything we do and empowers individuals to take the lead on safety. These are our health and safety goals for this year's outage: to achieve 0 accidents and incidences, to have no lost time injuries, and for all accidents, incidences and near misses, however minor, to be reported to a member of the ERF team, to ensure that all safety observations are recorded and all accidents, incidences and near misses are to be investigated within 24 hours. CDM is short for Construction, Design and Management Regulations. This was brought in back in 2015 to improve the health and safety in construction. The outage is covered by CDM regulations because the scope of the works being undertaken falls out with what would normally be considered general routine maintenance and were now considered to be a construction site for the period of the outage. You are not authorised to commence work on the CDM project until you have completed the full induction process detailed in this slide. You must ensure you follow this process and are in possession of a tally tag, helmet sticker, contractor's lanyard, and if you have any questions regarding this process, please speak with a supervisor or a member of the Avonmouth ERF team. So here are your Avonmouth ERF management team. We have Andrew Whale as the plant manager, Ian Price as the engineering and maintenance manager, Matthew Petrowski as the operations manager, and Ellie Bauscher is our environment and health and safety manager. So under the CDM regulations, there are various key roles and responsibilities. These include the client, the principal designer, and the principal contractor. The names for those for this outage are displayed on the screen. BA Rescue will be providing our confined spaces, management and security services on site, so please think of them as an extension of Viridor and they will be able to answer any questions you may have around confined spaces or safety in general. This slide shows the major works being undertaken during this year's outage and the main contractor assigned to each. If you have any questions, please reach out to a member of the Viridor staff. So here's an aerial view of the site. Our weighbridge is located in Gate 1. The entrance to the Viridor staff admin car park is located at Gate 2. And the entrance to the contractor car park and welfare facilities is located off of Abbott's Lane at Gate 3. There will be road signage to direct you to the outage village on the north side of the site, and the security office will be at the main entrance to the outage village. The main admin building is on the south side of the site, and the permit office is located on level 3 of the admin block. The mandatory site rules and site access, so you must always enter and leave the site through the site security office. This can be found at the entrance to the contractor welfare. You must sign out when leaving the site at any time, whether during your lunch break or at the end of your shift. There's strictly no smoking or vaping anywhere on site apart from the designated smoking areas. There will be a smoking shelter in the contractor's welfare, and please ensure you dispose of any cigarette butts in the bins provided. It is strictly forbidden to steal, cause willful damage, consume alcoholic drinks, bring illegal substances onto site, or engage in any other activities which could jeopardize the safety of any person. Such behavior will not be tolerated, and Viridor reserves the right to conduct random searches of both people and vehicles entering or exiting the site. An entry may be refused or you may be asked to leave if items found during a search cause concerns for the health, safety and welfare of all on site. If you do not comply with the site rules, you may be issued with a yellow or red card. A red card means that you'll have to leave the site immediately, and listed on the screen are just a few of the examples of infringements that would lead to a card being issued. The Operations Control Room is responsible for coordinating all emergency responses for fire, first aid, or spillage, and this will be done through the duty shift team leader. If you discover a fire, raise the alarm immediately and inform a member of the Avonmouth ERF staff. Everyone on site must go to the muster point as quickly as possible if the evacuation alarm sounds. Not responding or responding slowly may lead to the yellow card being issued. Our fire alarms are tested weekly at 10 o'clock every Thursday. When the alarm goes off in this instance, please do not do anything. However, if the alarm continues to go off or if you hear it at any other point during the week, you must proceed to the muster point immediately. The muster point is located in the Contractors Village car park. All contractors must make their way there as quickly as possible and make sure you've been accounted for by one of the Viridor fire marshals. You will only be allowed back to your work area when the all clear has been given by a member of the Avonmouth ERF staff, and do not leave the site unless instructed to do so. There are also a number of automated external defibrillators on site, including the weighbridge, the Level 3 permit office, and the ground floor of the boiler hall. Car parking is located in Gate 3 off of Ableton Lane, and remember you must reverse park. Please car share wherever possible. The offices and welfare facilities will all be clearly signposted, and there will also be a hot food provider available in the outage village. A female toilet facility will be available, and under no circumstances should contractors be using the Viridor staff facilities. You, as the contractor, are fully responsible for the security of your own belongings and equipment whilst you are on site. The tap water in the welfare facility is drinkable, and there will be bottled water available out on plant. Please ensure that all of your waste is placed in the bins provided, and ensure that any electrical equipment brought to site is PAT tested. All tasks require a safety document. Your risk assessment and method statement must be approved a minimum of 72 hours in advance of work commencement. A Viridor Senior Authorised Person, or SAP, will issue your safety document to protect you from the system-derived hazards. The point of work risk assessment, or POWER, must be collected from the permit office when your safety document is issued. The POWER must be completed by your competent person before work is due to start, and general safety must be established by the nominated supervisor and recorded on the POWER before the start of work each day. Any questions you have on this process, please contact a member of the Avonmouth ERF staff. All permits must be surrendered each time you leave the site and at the end of every day. This must be done at the permit office and not left anywhere else on site. No hot works can be undertaken without a permit, and specific permits are required due to the fire alarm and sprinkler systems on site. Hot work risk assessments will be carried out by a member of the Avonmouth ERF team, and working areas must be tidied up in line with your POWER safety requirements. The supervisor of each group, or single person if working alone, must have completed our competent persons and nominated supervisor training. Please contact the permit office for more information on this. The most common confined spaces on site are as follows: the furnace and grate, the second pass, the horizontal pass, the FGT inlet duct, the boiler outlet duct, under the furnace grate, the boiler drum, DA, condensate tank and all other tanks, and the turbine exhaust ducts. To enter work in a confined space, you must have the correct training, certification, equipment and permit before entering. You must log in at the entrance and hand over your tally tag, and you may exit the confined space at a different level from which you entered it, so you must return to your entry point to log out. Pick your tally tag back up. A klaxon or air horn will be used as the evacuation signal for a confined space. Working at height will be part of the risk assessment and method statement produced before the commencement of any work. This can vary from the use of a MEUP or the use of rope access. Please ensure that what is written in the RAMs provided is followed exactly, and to clip on where appropriate, and using the access equipment correctly. If using ladders, then they must be inspected by a competent person and have the correct inspection tags. Always visually inspect ladders before use and ensure they are used and stored correctly. It is Viridor's policy that ladders are only used for access and should not be used for work that could go on for a considerable amount of time. Please consult your supervisor if you are unsure on any of this. All scaffolding must be erected, maintained and inspected in strict accordance with the current legislation and only by a competent authorised personnel. The scaffolding team for the Avonmouth ERF outage will be Raynham's, and please consult them for any questions regarding scaffolding. Before using, you must carry out your own visual inspection, and if you have any concerns or find any defects, please report this immediately to a member of the Viridor ERF team or Raynham's, and do not use the scaffold until properly inspected and repaired. If you are undertaking any welding activities on site, you must comply with the new HSE regulations and put control measures in place, which include RPE, respiratory protective equipment, and LEV, local exhaust ventilation. Give consideration to others working in the same area and ensure that a COSH assessment is in place. And a minimum, FFP3 masks must be worn by anyone entering the boiler. If you're unsure on this, please contact your supervisor or a member of the EVA RF team. Report all spillages immediately to a member of the ARF team, and please ensure that any spillages are contained according to the procedures in place. Spillage kits are located around the facilities and are clearly signposted. Please be aware that there are areas and parts of the site that will remain fully operational during the outage. This includes the exit and entrance to the tipping hall and the store's delivery area. Also, please note that the Viridor polymers plant will be in operation throughout the duration of our outage. So remember, please stay in your designated area. You must ensure you have correctly identified the plant or equipment before the commencement of work, and do not start work if you have any concerns at all about the equipment or isolations, and remember, no work can be carried out without a permit. Good housekeeping prevents accidents. So remember to keep your point of work clean and tidy, ensuring walkways are kept clear and all litter is disposed of in the bins provided. Do not rely on others, and good housekeeping is everybody's responsibility. Good, clear communication is vital and will help support a successful outage. There will be a daily team and progress meeting at 9 AM in the ground floor of the admin block meeting room. These will be attended by the site management team, SAPs, STLs, and a supervisor from each contractor. Please ensure you feedback any news or updates to your supervisor prior to these meetings. A progress meeting will be held in the same location at 4 PM every day. If standards fall below expected standards, then an all-site stop may be used. Be aware that there will be a higher volume of people on site than normal, and many people may be unfamiliar with the site. Think about the task you're doing and how it might impact on others. Look out for one another even if they're not part of your team, as we all want a successful and safe outage. Two-way radios will be made available to contractors. The channel users are as shown on the screen. Channel 1 will be the Viridor control room and emergencies. Channel 2 will be the weighbridge and the waste operations. Channel 3 will be the Viridor engineering and maintenance team, and all contractors can use Channel 6, 7 and 8. Please be respectful and limit the use to essential communications only. All work parties must have at least one radio, and all radios must be signed in and out at the BA Rescue Welfare Cabin. Contractors must liaise with their site contact if they're expecting a delivery. All goods must be signed for by the contractor site supervisor. Viridor will not take responsibility for your deliveries, and if you require any goods from Viridor, they must be booked out using the site's stock requisition system. Contractors are responsible for managing the removal of equipment, tools and spare stock from site, and anything left after the outage will be disposed of. As a waste management site, we have a duty of care to inform you of a disease called leptospirosis or Weil's disease. This is transmitted to humans through contact with infected rat's urine, and it is a serious and sometimes fatal infection that can start with flu-like symptoms but can lead to serious complications and possibly death. You can reduce the risk of transmission by wearing protective clothing and washing your hands after working on site, and always before eating, drinking, or smoking. There are various bait boxes on site, and we have a pest control service agreement in place. If you have any questions, please speak to a member of the Viridor staff. CCTV operates across the whole site and is used for the safety and security purposes. Please be aware that you may be on camera whilst working and that this can be used in the event of an accident, near miss, and for general site compliance. And finally, I would like to thank you very much for your time today, and please remember that if you're unsure about anything, you must ask, as there's no such thing as a silly question, so please never assume, and let's ensure that everybody gets home safe.